Today's secret ingredient is
Also,
strobe
at
disco
any
ball.
point, I
Strobe
may
disco
walk away for a
ball.
minute because whenever my new iPhone gets here, I must go retrieve it from the porch post
Oh,
haste.
congratulations.
Yes, yes, yes. Meeting is
wanna
now
leave those
streaming
sitting
on live
outside.
service. There we go. And we gotta go.
Now we're streaming.
Now we're streaming.
Hi.
Thank you.
Now
And
for
that's
all
the
the
problem
real
with it.
juicy secrets.
That's why improv is terrible.
You know what would make improv better? A script.
We could
Oh,
just
yeah.
all these-
It might. It might. You have a point.
If everybody knew what they were saying ahead of time.
you would think that would help, but
I've always thought what we needed was more inside jokes, but
if we just make a big list of scenes and make sure that everyone does all the scenes in order and just post on the side of the stage, it'll work great.
So that plus inside jokes equals.
Well, if you script it, you can pack more inside jokes in.
That's right.
Great.
And it can be just
That's
the
a sketch
scriptwriter's
show, I
jokes.
think.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
The cast doesn't even have to be in on the jokes. It could be just the writer's jokes.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, what if hear me out? It's all inside jokes that no one is in on. It's
Yeah.
just anti-humor that has the form of inside jokes.
I love it.
Yeah, I would actually
I
really
love
like
this show
that.
idea so much.
If
I
you
think
push it far
I-
enough, it
I
horses
think
around.
it's starting to be a good show
Because now I feel like
Sounds
it,
like that.
I feel like that's tapping into like my absurdist non sequitur humor.
I was like, wait a minute, that one's good.
You're just
Because I can
constantly
literally just-
pausing for
around to-
laughs.
Just say anything and you can assume it's an inside joke you're just not in on.
That's what they meant when they said commit.
Like walls made of chocolate.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds. So just
And
like,
everyone has
just
to be followed with that
straight
meme husky face.
Mhm.
laugh. Yeah. Oh god.
Great. I'm in.
Right.
Crazy bastard admit.
I love it.
Passion.
wait,
Oh.
no, could you do an improv show just in meme references? Like, so like your stage picture is like distracted boyfriend at one point, and like at another point you're yelling at dinner cat or
It's
Oh
all
my God.
genius.
That's probably a good maestro setup if you ever
Oh
project
yeah, or
your-
you have to end up in this pose by the end of the show. I don't know. Camp games is fun.
All right. What happened last week?
No, I don't remember.
Not much.
Better ask the
Oh my
AI
God.
summarizer.
Hopefully I
Oh
don't have
my.
a
If the humans did anything useful.
Oh jeez.
Let's see. Oh yeah, last week was the show. That's right. After some debate at the cafe, we went to the library, convinced the librarian who had
Oh yeah, Mark told me about this.
the soul of Mog Squamous in the back room, and then popped it and
Oh yeah.
became a great thespian because of Mog Squammous's theater background. With yep, that's big, and right because Sebastian made that real by saying it.
Oh, and I'm due for
I just have a note that says, "Here comes Ellison Hunter." The wacky mayor.
Oh,
Almost
no.
ruined my show.
Upstairs was dangerous. Mixed to nuts. The servants of the temple. The play.
Tell me
went
about
off
this
the rails.
mayor.
Oh, he was basically like the monorail mayor, kind of like, I'm gonna make this the best town ever.
I
And
mean, did in a way. I mean,
yeah,
they all have jobs they're
Mayor
really
gave the big
committed
final
to.
speech
He
of the
almost ruined
show.
my beautiful prose, but luckily my prose was too good to be ruined by him in the end.
Put his foot through the floor because the balcony was dangerous. And everyone went to the temple in the town square, which was slowly revealed, kind of permanently surrounded by this fog. Everyone sees something different, whatever's most welcoming to you. And then you hollowed the entire town.
Yeah.
Every single person in the town got hollowed.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put it
I
like
think
that,
we-
it makes it sound like we're bad people.
Mark told me the summary of last time's game, and I was like, wait, we're the good guys.
I will say, actually, you hollowed out almost the entire town. Helen was okay. Helen was just like taking notes the whole time.
She seems great.
Oh
She's-
yeah, she's the one that I was like, I'm on to you.
Yeah,
You're bad.
Yeah.
And then oh yeah, the Saints lit your way out of town. They just made like little street lamps to get you out of there.
See?
You ran across the escaped test subject
Oh.
Saint as part of your travel move there.
Need to
And
set your
it was
questions
all
if
like
you haven't already.
Dr. Moreau taxidermied up.
I gotta figure out my advancement.
Their plants were grafting out of trees, and then you arrived at the floating market in the morning, where everything's gonna be fine.
Shopping.
Wishes. Nick, want to do a solo altar thing? Question mark.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you have a wish. Is that it?
I didn't wish for that.
Oh, apparently you
It's
did.
on the list.
How is the
Must be
floating
okay.
market gonna be? Welcome's vigil go boom.
The list.
We're gonna see what Zeph's verse looks like. We're gonna start open with that.
Oh yeah.
How follower mechanic works.
Oh, does someone have a follower now?
Word
I
out.
was gonna pick up one, I think.
Oh, cool.
Sebastian wants his cameo back still. Yeah,
Yeah.
the librarian
Oh
said
yeah.
she got Mog's soul bottle from Salesa at the
Oh
bar.
yeah, we were
So
going to
we
the
Oh,
market to
that
confront Salesa.
rascal.
Curious about
Yeah.
that. We got some advancements pending for Ben and Heath, I think, and
I don't think so. I think they,
maybe it was
At
Peter.
least-
And then I
picked
just have
mine.
Institute question mark.
Maybe Salisa's not a good guy.
What?
Oh yeah,
That
but
doesn't sound
just a
possible.
reminder, because I
Yeah.
did advance. I picked my 04 Muse a fire move, which again means don't be afraid for at least 3 times. If somebody's going to mark a verse of prophecy, I can instead inspire you, and you don't have to mark it.
Your very presence stirs with creative spark.
Well, I'll keep you from death.
So long as you're
keep in
present,
mind,
so
at
long
any
as you're
point-
present in the scene.
That you want an advantage, feel free to go like, I'm going to mark a verse of prophecy, and I can be like, no, you're not.
You can mark this move instead and describe how you inspire them to boldly seize the moment.
And I mark an XP.
Oh,
when I
wait,
Nothing
use
will
a
go
mark.
wong.
It's done.
Everything will be fine.
I get 3 of
Everything will
those,
be fine.
but then after 3, it goes away, and I get an XP. So that's something.
Nice. Candy.
Candy
Um,
corn.
Ah,
Took inspired circuitry.
Inspired circuitry. You're skilled at
You are
connecting.
skilled at connecting. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
You are skilled at connecting dormant objects to the divine current. Add the following items to your altar: consecrated electrician's tools, sanctified cables, hallowed battery. Additionally, when you improvise in a situation using whatever is at hand, ask the other players and keeper to name 3 other electric or mechanical objects you find in the environment. So long as you can give a plausible explanation for how one or more of these objects can help with an action, you have advantage on a single roll related to that action.
Right.
I've never heard such emphasis on the word plausible before in my life. That was very delightful.
I
I'm going to
think-
say, I think you might hear that some more.
Mhm.
And we were going to start off with a verse from Zeph, a flashback showing how you had no choice but to sign a contract as a custodian.
bum, bum, bum.
Sorry, this piece of chocolate was just extra chewy. I was not vamping for time.
That's
for
next
inspiration.
improv show. Awkward pauses caused by chewing.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. It's like we have mics,
Could be
but
good.
only when we're eating. Right now, when we're
Oh,
talking,
God.
you just you turn it on for.
Ah,
Oh,
it's the misophonia show.
So,
Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
heard
it's like somebody's having like an impassioned monologue in the spotlight, and someone is just in the background, and all you hear is them eating an apple.
Eating celery.
Ah.
Opening candy. Like,
Ah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, my verse. How did I, or how did I have no choice but to sign a contract as a custodian?
You.
I think Zeph was working for the Saint Electric. Um, um, some technical work, but mostly just salesman stuff. So going to towns and being like, "Oh, by the way, you have new cables here," and then being like, "Oh, we didn't order them." It's like, you don't have to; they're here. Now you're connected to the grid. Like, you're welcome. So I'm spreading the word. What's the word? I'm spreading the word. I don't know. Not exactly. Well, I guess yes, without consent to towns. Until I came to a town that had a minor god that was out of control and didn't want. Well, it was out of control from my point of view, and it. Well, we'll do the classic. And it killed me. And for a brief moment, I was reunited with my mom, and the rest of my family, whoever my family is. I don't know. And then I was brought back by the Saint Electric, and by I was brought back by a joint co-production of the Saint Electric and Biased, or a biased agent. Maybe another biased agent who had been a Saint Electric conduit at some point. And maybe it was one of those things where they're like, "Oh, like you can take over this job now. Like I can die. Bye."
Raper with him.
Yeah, so I had that connection. So the Saint Electric and Bias brought me back, and I had the choice that I could die from this minor god, or I could help this agent stop this minor god, which I did. Let's say it's a minor god of shellfish that was like just clamping the town closed, and we destroyed that god. And in like Men in Black fashion, the older agent was like, "Oh no, you're not my partner, you're my replacement," and then they died.
How did you
Yeah.
that shellfish god?
A lot of some strategically placed sand.
Mm-hmm.
Large pot.
Just forced it to use a lot of its energy to make a pearl that killed it, that sucked up all of its life energy.
Nice.
The pearl of death is now an artifact sought by many.
Yeah, I'm sure like the Bias headquarters has like a Batman Hall of Trophies. It's like, here's our giant penny, giant pearl. It's like, gosh, why is everything we have giant? It's so.
We need to go to the infinitesimal wing.
Yeah. It reminds me of that Grover book. Really weird and scary. He's in a museum, but there's like all sorts of weird, like everything here is big, everything here is small, like really, really unnerving for some reason. Yeah. Book like that.
I think I've heard of this.
Cool. Mark new end of session questions if you would like to change your questions up.
I done did it.
We did our move resolvements. Recap of active assignments. We still have the Sleepless Warden to get going. We did
fine.
the Warden. If the Warden was awakened accidentally, what new purpose could it serve? That's a reward 6. I mean a complexity 6, and you resolve these
rewards.
Rewards at the bottom.
Presents.
You've got 4 clues available for that. We've got the Skyward Sprawl, which has not even been touched. Where's the
little judgy.
Why is this
We're
sprawl
doing our best,
complex of
Mark.
six? And how can a schism between the sprawl and a slag
Can't even be
healed?
bothered.
And you only have 2 active assignments, so you'll be getting a third one.
Quick, turn off the radio. Avoid all the children.
But right now you're pulling
I'm
up.
worried it'll come through one of us, Nick, if we
Early
don't
market.
have a kid around.
No, you're not young enough. If they do it to an adult, they'll just die.
Actually, I think
Oh.
it'd still
Whoa.
come, I think it would come through the radio regardless of whether it's on or not. We could disconnect the
connect it
radio
to
and it would
anything.
still
Children
come
have very
through.
pliable brains. If you try and do it
Oh
to
no.
Yeah, I think after the scene where the radio did it, you see like the radio left by the side of the road and us driving off.
His wires torn out.
Gonna come through like a creepy doll.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna throw in, I still have to add a follower from last time.
Oh
Yes.
I had a couple of thoughts
Nice.
about that, but
How does this work?
yeah.
Make
do
me your
it.
follower. Wait.
yay!
Let's see. So you took the follower advancement.
Yeah.
State Electric is now
Um,
your follower. Wait, what?
Gain a follower. Write them as a custom side character once per session when they may help you with a task. Make the associated role with advantage. Any thoughts?
A couple of thoughts. I was imagining first a sort of not a saint, but like a spirit associated with the waxen scrivener that just kind of follows us around and communicates with, you know, the Pink Floyd The Wall, like spatter writing on the surfaces around us.
Mhm.
Or the waxen scrivener like devotees have heard that I'm not really doing a great job of following properly, and they've sent a like young, wide-eyed elder price like newcomer to the faith to keep tabs on me.
That is really fun.
Oh my gosh.
You have a name for them, or we can make one for
Just
you?
annoy Hugh so much.
I just believe in the glory of the waxen scrivener.
Oh no.
I
Hey,
haven't
buddy,
picked a
shouldn't you be
name
writing
yet.
this stuff down
Oh no.
and then
And
destroying
then
it?
burning it.
Oh no.
I've been taking a lot of notes of stuff that you forgot to write down. Here, you can destroy it.
Since we were just talking about Grover, maybe the guy's name is Grover.
Mhm.
And he has it's not going to be Elder, but like some
Sure.
waxen scrivener associated like inker or something like that.
Let's see.
Archivist.
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 Or-
Tracer. Pretty soon they'll let me write my own stuff. Tracing's gotten real good.
I think then maybe Grover meets you at the market, and he's kind of on the sitting on the shore as you walk up to the collection of boats moored together.
We need a
And
bigger car.
what does like what how is he? What do you see on him that immediately pegs him as a follower of the Scrivener?
I think he has the same robe that I do, or the same kind of jacket robe thing. What is my clothing? Susan Sandals on that hooded patrol cloak. Okay, so the same kind of cloak, but mine I think has more of a disheveled the dude vibe, and his just seems like it is pressed and starched.
Yay, another cloak buddy.
He may not have a tie, but he seems to have a tie.
Oh, I love this.
Got a tie in spirit.
Yes.
I like this ensemble.
Maybe he's got some like trimming on his cloak that sort of evokes a tie.
Yes.
Down the
Like one of
center
the
of the
lapels
cloak.
has a line down, and there's a neat little belt cinching it into place around
Oh,
his waist.
Nice.
so tidy, Grover.
Yeah, and so as you
I didn't realize how dirty Hugh's cloak was until we saw.
It's not supposed to
Grover's.
be yellow.
I thought it was supposed to be that color.
you see him chuck he had like a pamphlet or something, and he just chucks it in the river, kind of like stands up and brushes himself off, and like what's the way you greet each other, like brother or
Oh yeah. I think he describes me as is this dumb? A fellow man of the word?
Hmm.
No, not quite.
Is a-
Are you
Abs.
fellow ink stained rich?
Hello, wretch.
A wretch. That's pretty good.
I can find it in the script if I care, but I'll find it.
Is the
Yeah,
ink with you?
brother for now.
Are
Brother
you a
Harrow,
Blackfinger?
so good to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you.
He was just like staring daggers at this guy's
I think everyone else is just like,
He puts out his little ink stained hands. Finch.
Everyone else is like, did we just meet our new best friend?
this is gonna be so great.
I've been sent just to like see, not keep an eye on you, but just watch how you work, see how you're doing.
Have you done any acting, my friend?
No,
Don't
no.
listen to him.
Our troop is growing.
And if you handed me a script, I would destroy it instantly. And he,
No!
he beams and kind of like looks at you.
Oh,
She
yourself.
offers like, if a
Not
thumbs
hand
up
scripts
could
to
have a
him.
question mark at the end of it. That's what he
Isn't that right, brother?
Horrified. I think you see me clutching any scripts I have tighter, shoving them in my inner cloak pockets.
I think maybe Red does start handing him some like notes.
Just writes a note, hands it to him.
'Cause I don't think Red was like, oh, that's what Hughes God does. Red figured it out.
So here's your new amusement. You just write stuff and hand it to him and watch him destroy it.
Yeah, I think Red is fascinated.
The note says, will you destroy this note?
Will you destroy this? Don't destroy me or the world will die.
So I was told to meet you here, but I don't know why you were going here. But I'm
Business.
here to help.
You says like
Business? Like bureau business?
please stop. Yes. I think he's
Well, I don't
yeah.
I won't get in your way. I'm just here to watch. So anything you need, let me know. And
I think like the wheels are turning in Hugh's head, and I think he knows enough about how the church kind of works that like that asking Grover to leave them alone will do no good. And he's just like trying to strategize what is a side quest that he can be assigned to. But in the moment he's just kind of like flat affect nodding. Come with us.
All right.
I'm so tickled by Grover.
I'm sorry, you were going to recap the assignments too.
Oh yeah, we did that. We have a new one coming up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Grover's not quite young enough to give you the new one, but
I love Grover.
And that's once per session. I can metagame use that guy to get advantage on something, right? Once per session, when they may help you. Okay, cool. Yeah, out of game. I don't know what we were planning to do first at the.
I thought we were at the end of the last. I thought we were headed to the market to confront Salesa. Was where I thought our destination was, but
he's
have
a
to
friend
be.
of mine.
And that's the rare antiquities dealer.
yeah, he got the barge with the antiquities.
Yeah, it's my bro.
Your bro
Member of the
apparently
And
family.
I think I passed
took
that
my
on to
bro's
Grover. It's like,
soul and sold it to someone.
He does seem like the type
Ooh.
that would do that. That does sound like the Salesa, I know. Yeah, he could have done that.
and I think I'm just quietly muttering to Grover about like, okay, so the soul of his friend got put in a pot by this guy and then sold to Helen. I think no, was it Helen? No.
Librarian.
The librarian.
I mean, she's been writing this down.
And I think I put some like snarl on the word librarian.
Did you destroy the library?
Hugh, why did you say that weird?
The library was kind of already
He
in
was
disrepair
thinking
when
way
he
too
got
hard
there.
about did you destroy? And then he just kind of shrugs.
It wasn't really much of a library when we arrived. It had long since.
No, I guess
decayed.
not. I mean, it was weird.
Given the structural damage that was already there, what happened after?
We really brought a last gasp of life into the library.
But no, we didn't.
Before destroying it. Yes.
Last is the word that's carrying some
Right,
weight.
yes.
I think he was behaving in a way that like Grover could get him in deep shit. And so he has to be kind of like keep assuring him. As against Hugh's nature as this is, that everything is on the level with regards to the wax and Scrivener.
So
Well,
where
wait.
to?
Hmm?
Where
Wait,
to?
Grover met us at the market?
Yeah, he was waiting on the shore, chucking a pamphlet into the water.
Okay. Did you
What
have
was
trouble
the
finding this
pamphlet?
place?
Oh no, it was written that you would come here, so I just followed the instructions. Again, I don't know why you're here, but the Scrivener's never wrong.
People know where we are.
I think at
I
this
mean,
point,
Scrivener knows
Bastion,
where
I
you
think
are.
he's
That's I don't know about people. I mean, I'm sure other people could do the same thing, but
I think Bastion is
Well,
making his
just do
quick
it.
way to Salesa
what was that?
with purpose. I think Sebastian is trying to like make his way quickly with purpose to Salesa. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
we got
easy.
to-
Not hard to find. Right in the middle of the market,
I liked my painting.
shipping barge filled with a maze of old antiques.
So
Sebastian, you haven't been here before, right?
To the
You haven't been to
market?
You haven't been to Salaces before.
I'm the only one that's
no,
been.
I don't think so.
I
No,
think.
no, I don't.
So he has a shipping barge piled with a maze of old antiques, unwieldy stacks of crates and furniture which vaguely resemble a child's fort or a nest. Pieces of salvaged machinery, office appliances, and abandoned idols peer from the clutter. And your paint the scene question is, how can you tell this vendor travels far and frequently?
Is that for all of us or just for
Whoever is going there, except for Ren, because Ren already answered.
I think there's.
I forgot what I said.
I definitely think there's like things that are recognizable as regional, but from like very far away, so from all over, not just specific. Like again, I can't keep the fictional names of places in my head for some reason. But yeah, there's like, you probably know like, oh, that region's kind of this. He's got one of those, and like, oh, that's definitely of the style of that faraway region. It's like, wow, he's got stuff from like
He's got stuff from the Linger Straits.
yeah, all over the place. It's like, this is...
Oh, I think Hugh is tagging along, and I think there is a god of travel, and it's depicted on a poster near the entrance that has, I don't know what form the god has, like the classy traveler is the minor
A little
god.
neck pillow.
And and it's just kind of giving a thumbs up, and it's like, we travel the world.
Is it maybe like painted on the side of the barge?
Yeah. We go far and wide to go the extra mile for you.
Oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go, and there's a non-Saint electric radio, like a radio consecrated to a different electric god.
Oh no.
Like, oh, that's not from here. Okay.
Or like the god.
Foreign gods.
Love it. Yeah, and Salesa is he's I don't remember if he was here before. He's sitting near the gangplank to the barge, He's got like a folding chair, like a deck chair, and a little antique table next to him, a parasol sticking up behind it, and some sort of drink with mint and like a
Classic.
or something looking,
Classic Salesa.
but whatever the peninsular version of a Caprina is. And he like he like has his hat down a little bit. He kind of like raises it up and says, "Oh, my friend Solomon, you've returned. Do you have
I
something?"
have. Uh, wait, sorry. As a player, we're confronting him about something, right?
Yes, but
That's what I'm here for.
He asked you to
Okay.
get a little red book for him.
Do I
Uh,
have
no.
that?
No, you saw a vision of it.
But I told him about the vision already.
Yeah, so you
But
got
it was
the-
just me
yeah.
dicking around. It wasn't actually a game move.
the
I
vision
guess
was
now it could be.
the woman who had who took the locket had it, and then you saw her with a scar.
Yeah. And I told him like I would be careful with it because she had her face burned. So I did, he does know that I know that.
Yeah, but you haven't found it yet.
No,
Well,
we've been busy.
it's good to keep busy, and you brought your friends here this time. I see.
Yeah, Grover's new. I don't really know him as well. But these are the others I talked about.
Well, always a
They
pleasure. to
probably can't afford anything here.
friends of my friends. Oh, there's always a way to make a deal.
Oh, that is pretty scary.
I think Hugh just
Very.
kind of mutters to Grover, "Don't make a deal."
I think Sir Bastian's like he's very in a hot-headed sort of headspace right now.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm also inspired and mauled. Just taking.
I have two inspired. How did this happen?
Double inspired.
I'm just so inspiring. So I feel like he steps up with a spellbinding tale. We're doing a spellbinding tale. And I think he just walks up, steely eyed, and is like, "I have something to offer you.
Uh-oh.
You see, in our travels, we deal with a lot of gods, and as it were, I was lucky enough to get the gods' favor. I basically saved a god, and he owed me one, and I've cashed that favor in. We have about 5 minutes till that god gets here to consume you unless you tell me what happened to Mog Squamis and how you ended up selling his soul to what's her name? I don't remember her name.
Well, I didn't write down the librarian's name, I don't think.
Could be anything.
Nope, could be anything. Important. She's a saint now. Mog Squamis, for those asking, Mog Squamis is the proprietor of the Salt and Smoke floating grill.
Was the proprietor.
Is still the proprietor,
Right.
probably. We don't know yet.
The contracts are pretty loose about.
Yeah. And it turns out Mog Squamis was also a very good thespian friend of Sir Bastian.
Everybody's in improv.
So your
To my
question
improv show.
was how did he get Mog
I
Squamis'
want to
soul?
know the story. What happened? Why did you?
Hmm.
How did you get my friend's soul and sell it?
Well, I mean, there's a price for everything, and some people have things to trade, and others don't. Mog Squamis decided that, well, what they were looking for was worth the price, and they paid it.
They must have been
How is
looking for
anything worth the
something
price of giving up your soul? You're
really big.
That's a question for your friend. I'm merely the middleman.
You're telling me that Mog Squamis gave his soul to you willingly.
Traded, yes.
For what?
See, that is where client confidentiality comes into play. You see, I must protect not only my clients, but also my trusted partners' confidentiality. I'm sure you understand. Someone like me does not stay in business very long.
Really? We
Well,
gossiped so much.
Well, you're also not going to stay in business long
No
when this
caddy.
god gets here in approximately 3.5 minutes to consume you.
And which god is that?
Oh, you'll find out when he gets here.
Hmm. You like your
no.
No, I don't want to be in this play.
So like it's a spellbinding tale. You don't have to participate in this one.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Plus, I'm too inspired already.
Oh no.
I can't be any more inspired.
So
Triple inspired.
I'll die.
what is the request, or else the god will come?
um,
Oh yeah, we're just threatening him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
well, I
you
get-
need to roll for this because he is cooperative to whatever extent you're asking. He's very amiable.
well, but he's not telling me all the details I want to know.
So you want him to break the confidentiality, right?
Exactly. Because I want to know what Mog felt was so valuable. He'd trade his soul for it. I think at this point, Sebastian's not
Why
necessarily
don't you ask
believing him.
your friend? He seems to have nothing better to do now.
Which friend? Who are you talking about?
Mog.
Mark.
Hugh gently gestures to himself.
It is my belief that we, out of character. Remind me again. So, did Mog get hollowed, or as far as we know, as far as I know?
The librarian who imbibed Mog's
Right.
soul was hallowed. Mog, as far as I know, is still hanging around here.
Without a soul.
Without his soul? Unless it was copied.
I mean, a lot of people are walking around without their souls these days. Not to get political, but
Oh god.
I don't want to rant, but
Oh no.
Oh,
Don't-
Zeph, I
don't-
didn't see you there.
don't get me started about yeah.
Taking
That'd be very
the,
funny to be like,
the
I don't wanna
custom
get
move
political
of the
about
Dennis
gods.
Miller.
I think in an effort to,
Zeph
I never-
loves getting political about
I never drop character. So I think I turned to Rin and like, should I go call the god off? You tell me. Do you believe him? Do you believe what he's saying?
No, please let it come. I'm interested.
how much for this radio?
Your soul.
I hate to be a cliche, but are you a policeman? You seem to be working for the competition as far as radios go. Or is this a personal collection of yours you'd like?
It's about to be a personal collection. What can you tell me about this?
Well, it
This
is
other
of
god.
course.
Oh.
Can you tell what the foreign god is that it's consecrated to?
I think when I go to it, I hear the name. Like I hear like some crackles, some static, and then I hear the name coming through.
What's
I'll need some name. Gosh, what could be? What could the name of that god be? Saint WKR. Yeah.
The dial.
That's our radio station here.
Oh, the dial.
The dial. Ooh,
The dial.
hang on, I've got a fun one.
Yeah, because the Saint Electric,
the unobtrusive companion.
the unobtrusive companion.
Yes.
So like the Saint Electric is an electric god who does radio stuff, and this was like a radio god.
Yeah, Saint Electric is like a overall like electric company.
Yeah. But this was or is a distant god who was very just into radios. Like
before it gets subsumed and rebranded by Saint Electric.
Yeah, like a local
yeah,
god.
yeah.
An illegal
Yeah,
god,
yeah, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, this is a very illegal piece of equipment.
Yes. How much for it?
Well, what do you have in trade?
Okay. So
Brent's
don't
like,
say, don't say your soul. Don't say your soul.
My soul, damn it.
That's it. I'm leaving. Yeah, then you hear my soul walking out. What do I have?
Check out your objects in
That
Jack's inventory.
locket.
Well, I'll think about that. A locket with someone who I don't know. That kind of looks like my dad. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I would trade that.
No, easy enough.
Great.
The
Pleasure doing business. We'll see you around next time. Oh, wait, no. We're staying to threaten you. Sorry.
Well, if he's got no
I don't
useful information for us, I don't want to use up my God favor just to squash him like a bug.
But
I do have a painting that I got from him that would drown him.
wait, what?
Seems
oh yeah, they can drown the area of a size of large water. Yeah.
Perhaps we
that
should
would
talk
be
to Mog
ironic.
first, which I didn't realize was an option.
Yeah, let's try the
I
just
understand being
talking part.
hard-headed when one's friends are at risk. I mean, I understand.
Oh, I mean, we're friends.
Hmm.
You know,
I
this
think
market's under
Red,
bureau
Red
jurisdiction
like
now.
tears up a little bit, I think.
Oh,
In this business, friendship is
The only
precarious.
person I've talked to twice.
Bureau will be keeping an eye on this
Oh.
vendor.
Came back to talk to you.
Well, let me know if your god shows up. I'm
I
quite
told
keen to
you-
meet them.
You wouldn't be.
Mm.
He's
You'd be
gone
surprised.
before you
All
act.
sorts of interesting things out there.
Keep my favor in my back pocket. Storm out of the shop. With my cloak
Anything
flowing
that looks
behind me.
interesting to you, my young friend? He like gestures around and looking at.
No. Keep Grover out of trouble.
I can't offer you any of my rare books, of course.
That's a wax and scrivener joke.
yeah. I think Hugh is kind of just like gently nudging Grover to get out of the shop.
I assure you, they are very rare and irreplaceable if something were to happen to them.
Come on, we're leaving.
He's like,
Yeah,
really?
That's a
Wave.
nice book. It'd be terrible if nothing were to happen to it.
Oh, God.
Come back anytime, especially Ren, when you found my book, my lightener.
I'm not your friend. I'm not going
Friend,
to tell you any. I'm
it's
not going to tell you any
easier to
other
speak.
things about it. I thought we were friends. You just said we're not friends. I'm not telling you
We'll
anything
see how
else.
it is when you bring the book.
I'm going to keep the book.
I can take the book.
I'm going to give it to Hugh
I mean, you can take it.
or maybe Grover just to make sure.
I think Hugh just kind of gives them a curt nod.
Advance. Cool. Going to see Mog then?
I guess so.
Yeah.
We'll see Mog.
Are you leading the way again, Sebastian?
Yeah, I think I'm storming with purpose.
Mhm.
He walks so
confused.
fast when he's mad.
Makes my
I've never
cloak
seen him
makes
this
my
mad
cloak
before.
billow. It's nice.
Yeah,
It-
he likes to pretend he's flying.
It takes an extra moment to track down where, because the barges move, the boats and
Yeah,
stuff around.
Yeah.
And normally you just follow the smell of the cooking god bites. But when you find his her, I'm not sure. When
it
you
was
find
Mog.
Mog's, her, Mog is
Oh, it's
her.
her.
When you find Mog's catamaran, the grill is cold. It doesn't look like there's anything on offer. And Mog is just kind of sitting on the side of the boat with her feet dangling in the water. just kind of staring at the opposite shore.
Mark, my friend, what has happened to you?
Sebastian, I'm sorry. And she looks over at Hugh. I don't have anything for sale today.
That's probably for the best. However, what's going on? What I encountered someone who had imbibed your soul.
Oh,
And so I stormed into Salace's shop ready to draw blood, but Salace said that you traded your soul willingly for something?
I did.
For what, Mark? What is worth your soul?
Let me see. What is worth a soul?
Some extra tasty God bites?
I mean,
I'd pay my soul for some God bites right now.
We're gonna end
Ooh,
up doing commercials for.
Exactly.
What's worth your soul?
God bites, new with extra spice.
new pumpkin spice God bites for that fall season.
gets out and is kind of her feet are drenched and walks downstairs. Doesn't motion for you to follow, but come and see.
I follow Mog. Mog. The soulless husk.
I
that
think
is
Ren is
Mog.
really curious about this
Is-
soulless person.
Hugh is just staring plaintively at the empty griddle.
Wondering if he might be able to make some of his own.
Yeah.
Are supplies there behind the counter?
I think
There's-
Ren's like, I don't mean to be rude, but I would have thought that losing your soul and all. I mean, how is it? I just thought that you got to, that it wouldn't ever go away. If you could lose your soul and still not be dead, what is the comfort that death can even bring? Why would she let this happen?
Find out.
And Mog just gestures. It's dark below decks. Zeph, you were down here before, right?
Yes, I
Some
was.
things.
I was sneaking around.
There's a few unused cooking implements. Looks like they're dirty, dusty, greasy. But on a bench about halfway down, you have to it's dark and gloomy in there. You have to kind of get a little bit closer to see it. Bolted to the bench is a gleaming cast iron meat grinder.
Is this what you traded your soul for? Why,
It-
Mog? How is this worth your soul?
Would you like me to show you?
I'm not sure. Why don't you explain it to me first?
And she reaches for a cleaver that is on the wall.
Oh no.
It is kind of cracked. It's got the little like jaggers on it, and it is bloodstained.
Oh.
What are you afraid? Mog is gonna do with that cleaver.
Nothing bad can happen in this
Strangely
scenario.
enough, the first thing I thought of was not me. I for some reason I think Mog is going to like cut their own hand off or something and
That's-
grind it up in the grinder.
Yeah, that was my worry too.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what it does. Roll for this even. She puts her arm down on the
God bites.
bench, bench, and just like looking at you straight in the eye, brings it down on her forearm. It was
Mog,
easy.
what are you
Mog!
doing? Stop.
Um, it's not bleeding,
That's weird.
and she takes the forearm, thick end first, and puts it into the grinder and starts turning the crank.
Okay, remember when I said explain, not show? Talk
Tell,
through
tell,
this.
don't show.
Tell, don't show.
All I have left.
Is what the ability to grind yourself up.
Pushes it down, keeps grinding.
Okay, but why are you doing this? Why? What is the point of this?
To get the meat.
For the god bites?
There has to be something, doesn't there?
What about your old meat source? What about why has your meat source changed to you?
The deal went bad.
No.
Fuck, there's so many other things you can do as a vocation. You don't have to sell god bites. Are these even god bites? You're not a god, are you?
No, but it's very good.
And your god bites customers are satisfied with this new product?
They accept it. They keep coming back.
Is Hugh's mouth watering a little?
So this is what you traded your soul for. This is the ability to use yourself as a meat source? Is that what I'm gathering?
He hands the bowl of ground meat to you.
I will not eat my friend Mog's hand.
No, of course not. It has to be cooked first.
Hugh was tentatively reaching for the bowl and then
Isn't right, Mog. This doesn't seem like you.
Imagine the possibilities for the stage, though.
I mean, this, believe me, I'm mentally jotting down lots of notes. Story points for future. No one would believe this if I wrote it.
And she goes back and continues
Nope.
turning the crank on the
Stop
grinder.
turning. Try to stop grinding things. No more grinding.
No, you don't understand. And she's remarkably strong.
I was about to say, like, Mog is like much stronger than Sir.
It's not hard.
Oh.
I have a vitality of 0.
Hugh doesn't have any conditions related to the god bites, do you anymore? You're
No, just lots of inspiration.
a lot of inspiration.
We're so
And happy
inspired.
memories.
Cooking.
Patiently explaining about God bites to Grover.
Are you even Mog anymore? Are you still Mog? You
Of course
don't.
not. Who else would I be?
I don't know, but this isn't the Mog I've known.
Maybe you never knew me.
Oh, I knew you.
Ooh.
Of course, I never knew you without a soul, so I don't know what that means for existence.
Is a soul really all that makes a person?
Yes, actually, pretty much.
Like
So
entirely.
you don't consider me a person anymore?
I don't know what you are. I've never encountered someone without a soul.
Then eat.
I will not eat. That's you. That's akin to cannibalism.
And yet you'd eat the body of a god.
Not I never ate the god bites. No offense. I mean, to each their own.
to Grover, I ate a lot of God bites.
I mean, when you eat a cow or a pig or whatnot, that's not cannibalism because it's not human. Now, whether you can argue the virtues of that on its own, I'm merely saying it's not cannibalism.
And she leans into the grinder, puts the stump of her forearm
Would
in
you
it,
stop doing that?
and continues to grind, and just has this like ecstatic look on her face.
Oh no.
And instead of ground meat, you can see a new arm emerging.
From the
From
grinder?
like up out of the grinder.
Yeah. You see, I can do this forever and never run out.
Oh no.
I think I just sort of like turn around to, is everybody there? I can't remember.
I think we're gonna make a roll for this.
For
just
once, we're all together.
super fucked up. This is gonna be a gosh, there's no
Focus.
yeah, I guess focus would be the closest thing. Calm disposition, yeah. What do you
We have no chill.
Yeah, what do you think happens, if you lose your shit here?
And we'll also start grinding our hands
Oh God.
or each other.
All hail the
Just
grinder.
that's gonna be the one.
I kind of, I don't know. I think I think like that I would just basically go, what's the word? Not comatose, but like we're just in
Catatonic?
such- Yes,
Don't
thank you,
talk.
catatonic.
Cool.
Just without, don't know what to do in this situation. Just like complete brain short circuit of like, I don't even know how to handle this or what
Yeah.
to do.
Cool. This is a roll with focus. You can use your inspiration if you like.
I will use my inspired. Trying to remember the smoke 'em if you got 'em strategy.
Utilization.
Use the shit you have.
Grover cannot help anyone but me. Okay.
I just have a 1 in focus, so that's something.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
So it's 2D. Actually, 'cause I'm using inspired.
3 dice.
3D
Top,
best 2 plus 1. Is that right? 3 dice plus 1? I mean,
3 dice, top 2 plus
yeah,
1.
thank you. So we'll do the dice portion first. So that's 9 and 10.
That is a solid 10. You maintain your composure and may do whatever you like. So how do you react to your friend grinding her own arm up in this new cool grinder that is now making a new arm?
I
And it's
think
like
I
really like
do.
the
I don't go
flesh is like
catatonic.
fresh and like it's like baby flesh.
I think me managing to keep my cool is just managing to actually still be functional and turn to the rest of the group for once speechless. Just being like, what do we do? I don't know what to do. What do we? What?
Hugh,
I don't-
Hugh just
Turned down my
blankly said,
hospitality.
huh?
Hugh, you've never turned down my hospitality before.
Is it Mog? I don't even know if it's Mog. I don't know what.
Of course it's me.
This is or what to do. What?
Who else would I be?
I don't know. But Mog would not pay this price and grind herself up into give up her soul.
Doesn't hurt. It's the most amazing thing I've ever felt. You're welcome to try.
I can't do that.
Oh, but you could.
I have no moral compass right now. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. I don't even know. I've seen a lot of weird shit in our day. I've never been this lost for words or actions.
That's true.
And she hands a plate of ground meat to Hugh and says, "Would you be a dear and fire up the grill upstairs?"
I think
This is
Hugh
what
just kind
you-
of slowly backs out of the room and goes upstairs with the plate.
Do you take the meat?
Yeah.
This is what you want, Mog. This is what you want.
This is all I have.
That's not the question. Throwing out what you have or don't have, what do you want?
I want to continue doing what I've been doing, and this is the only way.
There must be another way.
Once my customers get a taste of this, they'll understand. They don't have to know. You won't tell anyone.
It's not my business
You won't
to
tell
or not
anyone.
tell.
People don't really usually believe our stories anyway. They're pretty out there.
Well, I mean, you could say the problem is people believe our stories too much. But, yeah.
That too, yeah.
Also true.
Kind of no middle ground.
Yeah. It's the one or the other.
Have I satisfied your curiosity?
I think I just turn around and walk out.
Do either of you fancy a bowl? There's plenty more where that came from.
Can it even be called living?
Yes.
Without a soul.
What is a soul? What did I really give up? I don't feel any different. For all I know, Salisa swindled that poor woman.
Yeah, I think Ren just like shakes their head and kind of walks out too.
Just you and me.
I can tell you for sure that I don't know what was in that bottle, but it really helped. Really helped that person put on the show.
I'm glad I could be of service. I know that it might be distasteful to you what I'm doing here with the charcoal grill upstairs, but I can't use electricity on this boat. You understand, of course.
I mean, I'd like to hear more. If I could get you interested. I mean,
I'd be
electricity.
happy to trade if you have something battery powered.
I mean, I know what
My
everyone thinks.
customers don't seem to mind. They enjoy the flavor of the charcoal.
Right.
I understand other
Wow.
people have certain inclinations to how their food is prepared.
I mean, you've already
don't
given
make
up your soul. I'm not sure what else I want at the moment from you.
Well,
Uh,
pick up the cleaver.
Oh no.
that is a nice cleaver. But no, I'll just say, in parting, I don't pity you because I know this is how we all end up in the end. Not even realizing how much we've given up and are giving up to the gods who will keep taking and taking. Or in this case, whatever God failed you, I guess.
This is beyond gods.
I don't know if there's anything actually that's beyond gods. I think this is all connected in a way that we are just beginning to learn.
The
Now,
thing
if you'd
is,
like,
this is not a god.
Hmm.
Some might call it that, but the entity under whose domain this belongs, it's nothing like I've ever seen.
Does that entity have a name?
With her good hand, she drops the cleaver, like grabs your lapel, and like
Jeez.
brings your face close. And just says,
But the tie is right there for grabbing.
"I'm gonna grab the pie." That's gauche.
Doesn't look structurally sound.
Grabs your
Yeah.
lapel, and brings your face up close, and just says, "The slaughter." How does that make Zeph feel?
I mean, um,
Cool.
it gives me a shiver. I think I recognize that there's some power here.
Let's have you do a roll with focus then.
Yeah.
What are you afraid might happen if you like if she like gets her hooks into you here, so to speak?
Yeah, wait, metaphorical. I am worried that my body will become my being will become a battleground for different divine
Ooh,
sources.
love it. Cool. This is a
Do
roll of
you?
focus.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still drawn to the Temple of Lost Souls. Look at that.
Yeah. I've got a heretical electricity on me. I've got okay, can I gosh, I guess I could have you know what? Let it ride.
Nice.
13.
Whoa.
Damn.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I think what happens is that not only like does this not phase you, but like it where's the thing? There it is. Yeah, not only does it not phase you, she starts like yeah, she starts kind of just like spewing and like from the viewpoint of someone who is primarily bound to a corporate god, like this is the like most like blasphemous heretical shit you've ever heard in your life. This is like not only like your god sucks, but like gods are nothing. Like everyone on the peninsula is fooling themselves. The powers they supplicate to are insects. The real terrors are yet to come. These gods have no power over us. And I think you're going to take a condition, but the condition is going to be grounded in faith. I think what she
Wow.
is saying
A
is like
13 and you
making
still get a
more.
condition.
Well, it's a good condition. You can spend this
Oh.
condition for advantage.
Oh my.
And like her heretical rantings are just like making you feel better about like
Whoa.
pretty good. I've got it pretty good here.
That does sound like
Yeah.
Zeph. An attitude of gratitude.
Attitude of gratitude. Yeah, grounded in faith, and you can spend that for inspiration.
Okay.
Or advantage. It's not D&D. Yeah, and you can just walk away from that.
Yeah.
Can Ren go to the pox funks?
Oh.
Yeah.
Or did you have something else? Sorry.
Oh no,
Zeph,
I was just going to
Okay.
just leave my card.
Yeah. I think
Oh
as
yeah.
you
Awesome.
walk upstairs, you hear another thunk of the cleaver.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, I think because I think well, I know at least I think me and Ren lived at the same time. I don't know if Hugh followed or if he's still thinking about preparing meat on the grill.
I think he's
Probably
fired up the
cooking
grill.
it. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
like flipping burgers right now.
Well, I
found
think
some
basically,
spices.
I'm guessing Ren would be the first person I see come out after me. Is that right? So I
Well,
feel like
the grill is above deck, right?
Yeah, the grill's above deck.
Yeah, so I'm up there.
Mhm.
Kiss the cook.
Which I
Are you
think disturbs me even more. Yeah, God.
are you cooking
But
your
like,
meat?
I think Hugh is kind of absently prepping the meat.
What are you afraid will happen to you when you cook?
Um, that, let's see. What I'm afraid of is that he will devour what he cooks and then rush downstairs to plunge his arm into the magical grinder.
Yep, I love it. I love it.
why, why,
Sorry.
why do
God,
we
this
even, why do we
episode
even,
is so freaky.
why do we even play with the GM?
Right.
We just do this to ourselves over and over again.
Worse
Return
than
to role
that?
focus
Why are you
again.
hitting yourself?
2 dice plus 2, unless you want to use something.
I would like to use Grover.
Ooh, how does Grover
Oh,
help you out?
Oh no,
Yeah,
Grover.
Yeah.
Short
With
Grover.
the
happy life
session,
of
when they help
Grover.
you with a task, make the associated roll with advantage.
That's a good
Is he
point.
helping you cook?
I think he's helping me resist. Like, I think Grover is probably the whole time explaining why this is a bad idea.
I know like Grover is probably like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is even happening here?
Cool.
I mean, there may have been a lag time before he could express in words
Yeah.
collected into sentences.
Probably kept thinking it was like part of some bigger plan of yours, and eventually it's like,
You're just making
this
hamburgers.
isn't going
Did
anywhere.
say that
Our
Sebastian
burgers
put
are
on plays.
Is this part? This is the play, right? This is part of the
Cool. 3 dice top 2 plus 2.
Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, 3d6. Rolling that, the top two are a 5 and a 9, plus
Nice.
2 equals 11.
11. Great. Yeah, you resist the temptation to
Grover
try
talks
and
me out of it.
he's like, "Look, you can cook, but I don't. I'm glad you're helping your friend out. Seems like a bad idea, right? I heard about your god bite problem, but this is something different."
It is something different, Grover. It's as he's like kind of scraping the grill. Sometimes, even if you've been a devotee, even if you've touched the third inkwell, sometimes you brush up against something that's bigger even than that. He's like full 1,000-yard stare.
It smells like kind of like pork
Eternity.
too long.
And the smell, yeah. It's just, you know that moment you first have when you meet the Scrivener, when you tear up all the records of your previous life, and that makes you feel like you're small, but at the same time you're a part of something. This is different from that. This is like whatever you were a part of just curls in the flames and drifts into the air. Put some water on that before it once it cools down a little. And then he just like hoofs it off of the ship.
Um, cool. I think that's a good time for a break. Let's
On
take
that note.
5 and come back to the Pox Monks.
Wonderful.
See y'all in 5.
Taking 5. Thank you.
Yes, that is the Grover book.
So freaky. I think I have seen it.
Yeah, it's super freaky.
I had it as a kid, and I was like, "This isn't okay."
Why is there just a room with this one thing in it? It's so weird.
It's a room with just one thing.
Yeah, super creepy. Speaking of Guttle and Croak Incorporated.
Yeah, I think I think Rand like lets himself in and like sits himself down on one of the beds.
I think Guttle is on the deck of the barge. And can I help you? They've got the long linen robes with fishnets all over and an oyster shell necklace. And kind of,
Yeah, I think Rand is like a little out of breath and is like how like how could you tell if it had happened to me? Like, and then would I even be able to die? Would I even be able to see her?
what?
Could you? So
Not
you
now.
cure people, but can you diagnose them?
Diagnose. Of course.
Like if I had lost my soul, would you be able to tell?
Lost your soul.
I just
What
saw
does
a
that
person and they
mean?
had lost their soul, and it seemed like a normal person, but I don't think that then they would be able to go meet the Cairn Maiden if they had
Where
no
did they leave it?
soul.
Soul, no soul. Flesh is flesh. What can I help you with?
Well, could you tell me if it had happened to me? Do I have my soul?
I think that would be up to you.
You said you could diagnose people.
Yes, but soul is diagnosable. I could gashes, slashes, burns, boils, sicknesses, gangrene, but I souls aren't part of what we do, dear.
Oh, well,
They're like looking,
maybe,
trying to see if there's anything.
yeah, it's and like, sorry, as a player, what are we're trying to get some clues for, are we
No,
trying to get clues for anything?
you're just here to hang out.
We're just here to hang out. Okay, we're trying to solve the thing. Okay. I was just like I just was like, should I poke him for a clue?
I can punch your aura if you like. That make you
Ye-
feel better?
Yeah.
Oh, have a just stand right there. I'll be right back. And it goes into
Okay.
there's a little curtain and comes back with some like burning reeds and
I think Brandon's like trying to like arrange themselves like in all their veils.
taking some sticks at you, like rattles and stuff. Like, all right, here we go. Like does a little dance around you. You can't really see what they're doing when they go
I think
behind you.
Brandon's nodding very meaningfully. It's like,
All right. And scoops up a bit of river water and splashes you with it. Or cleansed. That'll be 5 regular.
okay. Thank you very much.
Anytime. Do you need anything to go, May? Just in case, you never know.
Yeah,
Miracle
yeah,
Weeks,
definitely.
there's all sorts of ales.
Okay, sure.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
can't be too Just
It's going to cost a bit more though than you. What? Well, you know what? I recognize you, don't I? You've been here before.
yeah. Forgot.
Well, this one's on the house. Well, rummaging around in a crate. Here we go. Tiny savior in a bottle. And it's a little glass bottle about that big. And there's a like translucent, fleshy coil kind of bobbing in the liquid there.
Good.
Take this, and you'll need this, and gives you a clear bottle. It's like just swallow the leech, chase it with a shot of Croak's invigorating vinegar tonic to wake it up, and give it 5, 6, 7 days for it to absorb your illness. And then when your spit starts to turn colors, different color depending on what you had, that's when you take the come back for some purging paste. I think
Okay.
we have the mint still in talk, and make sure you have make sure you dig deep and bury whatever you purged up. Don't purge in the water, no matter what you do.
Oh,
So if the leech gets out, it can grow. Tell your friends.
okay. Thank you.
Remember,
Thank
7
you. Thank you
days.
so much.
Come get the paste, purging paste.
Okay.
Don't let it get
Okay.
too
Thank
big.
you very much.
And you can just write down the miracle leech in your notes. It's not a but
It's just like my bag of fear clay
Yeah.
to be used and misused. Miracle leech. All right. I think I run back out into if Sebastian's still out there, I kind of run back out, and I think he thought I was with him. I like ran in there and did this, and now I run back out into him.
I think he's a bit in a bit of a mad state, and I think he just kind of grabs you and goes like, tell me that I shouldn't burn Salisa's shop down. Tell me that I shouldn't seek out the nearest temple of any god who will hollow me and give me the power to burn this entire market to the ground right now, because that's what I want to do. Whatever god will have me, I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. To give me the power to burn this entire market to the ground and make sure Salisa knows that I'm the one that snuffed his existence out of existence.
And everybody just takes a beat.
What is a god? There's no god. How could any god let this happen?
You think your god takes care of you?
No, I don't. Obviously not. Mog was, I don't know if Mog, do I know if Mog was a follower of the Watcher? I know that a theater background together.
I don't know if they were or not. Probably not.
I
mean,
feel
Mog,
like the Watcher should be able to handle this one.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
it does
the
take care of
Scrivener is
us.
actually really good at things like this. If you wanted to, change horses midstream.
they're saying I should just give myself to a god and become hallowed and become a monster with just enough power to destroy this entire place and everyone in it.
I mean, if that library you were talking about isn't completely destroyed, that would be a fantastic place for you to become a saint.
I don't really think this is the main business of the.
I mean, I know I haven't done it myself before, but I've heard people do it before. And if you want to become a saint of the Waxen Scrivener, I'm sure we can make that happen for you. If we destroy enough books in the same place, and
I don't think you and I have enough history yet, Grover, for you to be counseling me on this issue.
oh, it's not counseling. It's just a suggestion, just putting ideas out there. If you, I mean,
I think
sure
he was just kind of touching the bridge of his nose, like deeply embarrassed.
I think he just turns away and turns back to like Ren and goes, "You, I trust. You, we have a history. You've always counseled me well."
Red is like not, but Red is just like in awe and isn't really speaking, but like let's Sebastian have like a platform.
Because I'm ready to go out in a blaze of glory if it means taking all this down with me.
Don't we technically run the place now?
We're supposed to protect it.
We have to protect it from Sebastian.
mean, if we care about our
So-
jobs, do any of us really like the Bureau anyway?
No.
I'm curious how Grover responds to that.
Zeph.
Oh, Saint Electric. Saint Electric, give me electrical powers. I could lightning bolt this entire place. I could fry Salesa till his skin bubbles and pops and then inflates off.
That's pretty detailed.
You've thought this through.
Lots of options.
I love that this is crossing the line for us.
The small details that would make it believable. I don't know, man.
Just trying to
Like-
get day to day. I didn't have any like long-term plans.
I mean, yeah, Sully should. I mean, I don't know. Did you see this radio? It's pretty cool. But like, yeah, like
What he wants
probably a
mo-
problem.
What he wants
Right.
more in the most in the world is that red book, and it sounds like that'll be his demise if it's anything like it was for that Lucy Lacey person.
Yeah,
Her face
And
was
it's not
pretty
like-
burned up.
The
What do we
person who
do?
took
I mean-
the locket.
Yeah.
What do we do about Mog? Do we
Not
just
to
let-
make Sebastian more mad.
Do we just let Mog be? Do we just let Mog do what Mog wants and sell her Mog bites?
I guess there's no way to get the soul back.
I don't
I
I don't
know.
think
It's
she's
there.
really going to brand it that way, right?
That's
Mob
true.
bites.
And
What
then,
seems-
Mog.
so it's probably a soul or a saint now.
But is it up to us? Mog didn't say she wanted her soul back. She claimed to
the
be
saint-
perfectly content.
Still have the soul? Is it still rattling?
I don't know. I don't know how any
So
of this
maybe
works.
this art dealer could extract it from that saint into a vat, into an urn or whatever. Then we seal that, bring it back here,
Sanitary.
trick Mog into drinking it in, and then yeah. That seems involved.
But then we're forcing a soul upon somebody who
Yeah.
willingly traded it and seems
Yeah.
not to want it back.
I think that people should be able to give up things they don't want anymore.
I think people can change, and we can let them go. I mean, if we are in the business of dictating what people can do, then we are no better than the gods, right? We're consuming
Okay.
Mog's life to satify our
No, I
own
agree
need
with
for
that.
friendship. Or wait, hold on. I've got at least 3 sentences here before anyone joins me. I've got to.
speech.
No, I think that was it. Actually, that's about it. But yes, like that's what makes us. What is it? Yeah, what's the thing you're always just asking? Whether or not we're the bad guys? I think we know we're the good guys because we are not forcing people to do things.
And we always
we're
try to do the right thing.
We're accepting people as they come to us. We're not trying to hallow them in our own image. I am curious. I mean, if you want revenge for Mog, then maybe we should look into why the god bites dried up, or what made her feel compelled to keep with this rather than do literally anything else.
Yes, that's good. I did try to find that out, but she seems in such a strange state now as to be hard to get information out of. From a purely practical point of view, as Bureau representatives who are now in charge of this market, is it within our responsibilities, purview to be for someone to be selling something that they are not being completely open about selling, or is that just part of
That's
doing
the whole
business with the market?
deal.
Have
Yeah.
you been to any of the stores here?
You got the entire brand of
I
the
just
market.
got my aura cleansed.
Very
Did
much
that clear up one of your inspireds?
Mhm.
Or that'd be pretty funny. There we go.
I mean, when I first started with y'all, to be honest, I didn't know what I was about. I was just trying to bide my time until I got to meet the maiden. And I was hoping at that point that it was sooner rather than later. But since then, we have been forced into situations where we had to do something. And we haven't been perfect. I think there has some harm has probably happened. But
Yes.
it feels like
That doesn't sound like us.
probably feels like I think this is like from a speech that Ren had heard at the bank.
Harm.
But I think that we have tried at every point to make the best decision with what we knew was possible. And Sebastian, I think one thing I do like is that we've always made the best decision for the most people. And the people here actually seem happy with their decisions.
Is Salesa the villain in this scenario?
I mean,
I can't see straight.
if we burnt down the market, it might be a new villain at that point.
I
I
mean,
think
yes, that's
you-
probably.
Hugh just kind of looks at his feet and says, she just looked real empty.
Yeah.
Sad.
I don't think it's any way to live. No.
Mom did say something about an entity that she called Slaughter.
An entity?
And, well, he claimed it was greater than gods.
Like a god killer?
Like the devourer below.
Or below that.
Like the beast in the bush? Hides in the grass.
The long grass.
Long grass. some it hides somewhere.
That's just the regular god.
Perhaps we should, at least me. I don't know, maybe we should get back to work. There's a new mystery we haven't even started investigating it.
And I think at that, Zeph's radio crackles to life.
God damn it.
And you hear a child's voice.
Why? You bought a radio. Why? As you
I
said
didn't-
in your
Yo.
I didn't know it was going to do this.
This assignment is the miraculous clinic of the bleeding witness.
Oh, jeez.
Sounds nice.
A recent article in the Central Glottage Herald claims that unsanctioned miracles are being performed in an abandoned rural hospital by followers of several false faith gods. The
Hooray.
Egyptians have released a press statement ahead of any public outcry, while quietly dispatching the usual array of lying martyrs and propaganda saints to tie up loose ends. But continued pressure from hospital shareholders and increasing demands for a full investigation has brought this case to the custodians. You have been provided with the necessary credentials to visit the clinic as inspectors and will be given access to tour the facility. Upon arrival at the clinic, you'll be greeted by Phineas Gland, a minister of the Silver Lining, and a group of quiet attendants. And this is a question for all of the custodians. What breakthrough medical advances and miraculous cures are rumored to be performed at the clinic?
Yeah, again, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Cutting out.
What breakthrough medical advances and
Oh.
miraculous cures are rumored to be performed at the clinic?
I mean, regenerating severed limbs. Except it's like baby flesh when it comes back.
Oh no.
Right, yes, okay. I was going to say, I don't know if this fits, tell me. Are there rumors of unhallowing or unhallowing? You can bring in a saint and get a person back.
You think?
Wow.
Oh.
Rough.
Is hallowing the same thing as becoming a saint, or are those two different things?
Yeah, that's how you become a saint.
You could be unhallowed.
Oh, that makes the next question funny.
Body transference.
Ooh.
Supposedly, like, if someone is no longer using their body, they've recently been deceased, you supposedly could get yourself transferred into that body.
Like if you're like terminally ill, like get transferred into someone else.
Yeah. Oh, someone died and they had a perfectly good, healthy body. I'll take that one.
Big Ren hates that so much. I think and traumatic memory erasure, like getting rid of memories you don't want.
This question is for the follower of the Karen Maiden.
That's me.
What makes you suspect that the clinic is turning its patients into immortal saints?
Yes.
Oh no.
That was gonna be the one I said where I was like, oh, they've lengthened life. What makes me suspect that?
Yep.
I can't find her. I can't see her anymore. Why won't she come in this? Why won't she come around here? I can't see the Karen Maiden.
Oh, you can't see the Karen Maiden around the
Yeah.
corner?
Yeah. And I think I'm like really worried where I'm like, I can't, or we're not there yet, are we?
No, no.
Okay. Well, I think when we get there, I think Ren is like, she won't come near here.
That's great. Ooh, all right. Cool. So there are some questions and opportunities. The first question is, what is the hidden cost of the miracles being performed here? Complexity 2. And that will unlock the next question, which is, can the custodians put a meaningful end to the suffering here? Complexity 2. And that is a yes or no question.
Jeez.
If yes, you will unlock the remaining questions. If no, you can resolve it by doing some other stuff. And then the other questions are complexity 4, which outlawed faith poses the greatest threat, which gets you the special move God Killer. Woo! Or who is secretly funding the unsanctioned work of the clinic, complexity 4. Each custodian may gain 2 rewards and gains a condition hero after that one. But that's somewhere else.
Not here.
And the radio pops and crackles and turns into a jingle for the unobtrusive companion.
Why is it always a
Fucking
child?
parody of Saint Electric. Cool. Do you want to hang around the market some more, or do you want to do?
Have to go in every store.
So choices. We have now 2 mysteries untouched, correct?
Mysteries untouched.
And 1 ready to fucking be solved forever.
Well, you need to answer the question still on that one.
I thought we answered it. We just hadn't done the thing.
On the
Sleepless Ward.
Yeah, I thought we'd answered it.
No, we've got 4 unused.
No, you answered the has the warden been awakened intentionally or accidentally?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Accidentally, which is the 6 complexity. If a
Oh.
warden awakened accidentally, what new purpose could it serve?
Oh,
So we could at a -2 try and solve
You
it.
got 4
Well,
clues right now. You could do a -2 roll on that,
or get some more clues.
or get some
Yeah.
more clues.
And I
Or
can pick up a book about that too.
I think while I was deciding, like, I think Bastion has just wandered to the car and is just sitting in the car by himself, just waiting for one to decide what to do, and I don't care. I'll be in
Poor
the car.
fashion.
I'm just in the
Mm.
car waiting
Having a
to
hard
get out of this cursed place.
Reaching for the radio that isn't there.
Oh,
Singing to myself.
Yeah, and I think Hugh definitely feels like it's time to get out of here. I don't think he liked circling that close back to the God rights again.
Yeah.
And we've all seen just things that even for us are like,
Yeah,
wait,
I think-
what the hell?
yeah, Ren is very disturbed.
So I think we're just kind of all silently trooping out to the car.
Unless Zeph wants to talk. I think Zeph is handling things pretty well.
Yeah, I think I'm fiddling a little bit with the radio. It's like see what other stations I can get.
Yeah, I think it's like the
So-
only sound other than us like
Yeah.
heavily breathing.
Yeah.
Which assignment do you want to travel to?
I think we should touch the Sleepless Warden,
Yeah, probably.
which seems like it's gonna pop in some way.
Hmm. Fantastic. We'll save that for later. Then. Let's see.
Oh no. Oh wait, Mog Squamous could be consulted once per assignment about black market goods. Use the information to stumble on a clue.
Oops.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
do you have that? Did you take that reward?
Yeah.
Oh, Hugh.
You
But
want
I
to-
don't know what black market goods are relevant to any of the assignments we've got.
Want to tell me about this leech?
Mog will be around for a while.
Oh boy.
You can always come back.
Yeah. Are there any black market goods being shipped to Welkin's Vigil?
I mean, maybe.
If we're not gone yet, it would be worth.
Oh.
Well, but then we'd be stuck with Mog again and like the horrifying things going on there.
But if we do, we can always just say we can say just one more thing.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
well.
one more thing.
Just-
My wife is really interested in Wilkins.
Also, I like the idea that we all left and then we come back and be like, oh, just one more thing. It's like an hour later. Like, sorry to interrupt. Just one more thing. Like, yeah, like a couple days later, you're in the shower. Just one more thing. Just kind of bothering you.
I think it would.
You pop in and ask Mog.
I think it would be funny is like we're all about to get in the car and he was like, oh, and then starts trotting back to the market.
Uh-oh. He's gonna go get a to-go bag.
I think when you go back, there are customers and they are eating little beef bowls.
Oh.
Is Mog present?
Oh yeah. Mog is serving up one hand conspicuous
Oh no.
under the
Oh.
apron.
And so I think,
Oh.
yeah, Hugh just says, Hugh, not used to actually doing the job of investigation, is just sort of, Mog, we're going to Welkin's Vigil. We got a
Why would you
job
want to
there.
go there?
Nobody well, it's a whole thing. Do you know they've accidentally activated a battle saint who's now like causing trouble? It's a whole. Do you know anything about like any illegal goods going out that way?
I mean, that would make sense.
That would make sense. That wouldn't make sense.
I mean, they got some I mean, you see a lot of stuff on the river. I've seen shipments going that way. I don't know if it's going to Welcome's Vigil specifically, but I remember who was it? That guy with the hat, the funny tie, over at what's his name? Over at
Sharon
Happy Feet, Kaz Happy Feet, the feathered hat was shipping over a bunch of sacrificial charms, like protection charms.
Protection charms.
Birds wrapped in briars with barbed wire circlets, little flower cairns, all sorts of things. They're unsavory, but they're there to ward off outsiders.
That sounds right for Wilkins Vigil.
Is that um, sacrificial garden charms?
We got a lot of those in our house.
Can I make you a to-go bowl?
Uh,
Seems to be a
thank-
hit.
I got it.
There's a couple, like-
The motor's running.
Poor
Like,
Hugh.
"Oh, you should go- this is new. I mean, it's no god bite, but the mog bites are great.
The what? But never mind. Yeah, I gotta go where I'm not wanted. It sounds
Oh,
like.
yeah. Got a tang to it.
Oh God. And this might be the batch that he himself was cooking there.
Yeah, probably. Got
Yeah,
like some
it's
seaweed garnish and
smoked paprika. Never mind. Back off into the darkness.
cool. Can I get someone to roll like an 8-sided die for me?
No consequences.
Which
I can do it since I seem to have been stumbling around.
Do it. Fucking do it.
Okay, that's an 8-sided die. I recognize numbers on this thing. Rolling an 8-sided die. 8.
8.
Yay!
Well, go for it. Yeah.
Higher is better, always.
As you travel, we see some garish billboards with peeling layers and sodden laminate teetering on splintering wooden scaffolds. Some have been posted recently, others appear abandoned, left to fade and flake away as the elements wear them down. And I think, yeah, this one is a recruitment ad for the Central Glottage Police Force, applauding the heroic officers who patrol with a cloak as their constant companion.
Okay.
Annotate that one. Not used again. X. Paint the scene question. Describe the illustrations and slogans for the advertisement. What rumor have you heard about the subject being advertised that is carefully being avoided here?
What rumor about the cloak and the officers?
Yeah, about the Central Glottage Police.
Oh no. I see. What could possibly be bad about the Glottage Police Department? Oh, yeah. I think I've got it. That deep underground where the central police station is, there is a maw that they occasionally gather people that they think no one will miss and feed it into for the glory of the cloak.
I think it's like almost like an anti-rumor. I think there's an organization that are like Friends of the Glottage Police, and they're always spreading like flyers and stuff that are about how like all the rumors are false. The Glottage Police are just do their job, and they're just everything you hear bad about the Glottage Police is malicious rumor made up by criminals who just hate police.
Mm.
So this is on the billboards
Yeah,
for the
and this is
police? There's something being avoided.
also describing the illustrations and slogans on the billboard.
Oh, well, sorry, I just went straight for.
All of us love
Um,
words. Yeah, that makes sense.
Terrible rumor, you say? Well,
Yeah, I think there's uh oh, I think there had been some. Oh, and sorry, we're each doing one for this one, right? Okay. I think there had been some recent police deaths, and people had been blaming it on the fact that the police don't get partners anymore. They just have the cloak. And I think there's a billboard that says like the cloak protects the faithful,
Nice.
blaming like not disavowing that that happened, but blaming the
oh
other
no.
policemen for not believing. Yeah, it's got like word art. The cloak protects the faithful.
Yeah,
It works if you believe hard enough.
I'm seeing like 1940s, you know, WPA or like a wartime poster with like somebody holding a magnifying glass, like over a little figure, and the text says like the innocent have nothing to hide.
Oh, oh, well done. That's
Yeah.
scary.
And then for your scenic enjoyment, the where is it? The recall a time question is here. What vivid childhood memories are evoked by looking at the billboard? And again, this is the journey scene. So when traveling to another assignment, when you and at least one other custodian share a scene where you discuss your personal history or relationship to divinity, you each clear a condition and stumble onto a clue.
I definitely think it gives Sebastian some comfort and a smile because he remembers the first time he saw his name on a flyer on a billboard for a show he was in, and that's when like he felt like, oh, I'm somebody. Look, my name is on that flyer. It's my name, the flyer. Sweet. I think I'll finally stop being mauled.
Oh.
That's all I've got right now. Finally healed up.
Are we talking about memories cued by the billboard that we were describing? Oh, okay. I chatted mine in the I chatted an actual billboard design in the chat of just like a cloak curled protectively around an unhoused person with the text, "The cloak protects the faithful." And these were childhood memories, or
Yeah. What vivid childhood memories are evoked by looking at the billboard?
Hmm. I'm wondering if I can cheat a bit and like make it memories of when Hugh was with the the Watcher like troop itinerant performers and them getting hassled by the cops the one time they're in the city in Glottish. But I can also do proper childhood memory if that is necessary.
I think, sorry, Peter, were you going to expand or?
Hmm?
Oh, I was just checking that you were done.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You have to pass the walking stick or the talking stick, not the walking stick. Jeez Louise. Yeah. I think a member of the Glottage police force came to school and like a scared straight or community outreach program, and let me touch his like not gun but like his cloak ward, like his medallion of the cloak, and I felt that power.
Ren grew up hanging around a bank. So I think there was a time when one of the vaults, like a vault saint, got out. It was like protecting a huge fortune. And the Glottage police showed up to help. And they, instead of like containing the saint, they like let it go after the people so that the person's fortune wouldn't be looted. And Ren was like at the bank when that was happening and watched the Glottage police like choose property over people.
Nice. And feel free to do a scene where you discuss your personal history or relationship to divinity while you're in the car. And then you can clear your condition.
Oh, well, I just have 2 inspireds.
Yeah. I want to get rid of these. I forgot how to use them. I've had them so long. You can just get advantage, right? Okay, cool.
If Grover isn't helping you out.
Yeah, if only I had a Grover.
Next advancement.
I don't know. It seems like more of a curse than a blessing the way you it's supposed to be this like nice advancement, and you've turned it into this like fun burden for Hugh. Having a partner is a real advancement in the Scrivener's eyes.
Yeah, they told me it was going to be great. That's been pretty sweet, nice so far. You got some weird friends, though.
Well, you just got to think of it like we each have 4 partners.
When you're on your Scrivener's journey, you part of it's that you meet some interesting people.
The guy with the umbrella was really nice.
Yeah, I think that's Salacious' problem is that he's nice.
You didn't make any sort of deal with the Umbrella Man, did you?
No, I don't really need anything right now that the
Okay.
Scrivener can't give me.
I think Rin holds up the leech and is like, "Do you need this? I only got the one, but you can have it if you really need it."
I don't think I need a norm, thanks.
Okay.
But Grover, you probably feel nice and protected by the cloak, right?
A cloak? No, I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, they always got on my case for vandalism. So I don't know. I don't really have any love for cops.
I don't really like them besmirching cloaks. I like cloaks.
Go on.
Are you telling me that now cloaks have to be associated with the police?
Well, I think if you
Associated
have
with
like
mysterious theater people.
if you have a
Always been associated
normal
with it.
theater cloak, then that's fine. If you're wearing like 5 cloaks,
That's a lot of cloaks.
that's like I have beliefs about how laws should be enforced.
I don't think the gods are in it to protect us. Any of them.
No, of course not. They're just hungry.
They're just existing. And by existing, they're hungry. And by hungry, they reach for what is less powerful than them. They're not interested in protecting us, they're interested in preying upon us.
Then why do we feed them? I mean,
As we are prey.
I
God
follow
must
my
feed.
God because I feel it in my soul, because I feel the arts and the theater, and it's who I am, and that my God just happens to align with that.
Would you still follow him if he didn't give you all the goodies that he gives you?
Oh, that's
Power,
always the
ability?
question, isn't it?
This guy gets it.
Yeah.
And then to hear you said he was a dweeb, but
What?
Hey,
Again, just kind of gently squeezing the bridge of his nose and staring at his
Yeah.
feet.
I mean, we've
personally,
had
I
too many
believe
secrets.
Oh, is this the guy that he was saying was a dweeb?
I believe that not knowledge is too much knowledge just clogs up your mind and the world. And whether the Scrivener existed or not, I'd still do what I could
Oh,
to
you're right. He
figure
did say
things
things
out.
like he acts smart without actually having read anything. Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. If there were no gods, I would still, the theater would still be my life.
But would
So
you
it just
worship
makes
the
sense.
Watcher?
Would there what?
Would you worship the Watcher if the Watcher didn't do anything for you?
What's the alternative?
Just doing your thing, man.
I don't know if I'd
Ren
worship
gives Grover like a really weird look.
this.
I heard you
Does the
talk that way.
Scrivener like you talking like that?
I don't know the Scrivener cares how I talk. That's what I do.
Through acts, not words, shall you be judged.
Exactly.
Oh wow, y'all have a lot of Bible for people who don't like writing.
Oh shit, was that actually a Bible quote? I was like trying to go vaguely.
I don't think
biblical.
it's a real Bible quote, but I
Yeah.
think Ren is just like, y'all have like a lot of quotes for people who hate work.
Sorry, I feel like most Bible quotes
An
are kind
oral
of just
tradition.
generic quotes that have been quoted in.
I think that Ren
Yeah.
thought that he was making these
Lots of
things
different
up, and now to see Grover also say them is like it's like when I player Nick was younger and thought that all my friends were very, very funny, but they were just quoting movies. We're like, oh, he's been quoting something
The whole time.
this whole time. I thought he was coming up with these things.
I don't know how I feel about the Scrivener if the Scrivener did nothing for us.
So, Grover, then why do you follow the Scrivener? Why don't you just do your thing?
That's the
Mm.
What is that?
I'm gonna be doing it anyway. I might as well get something out of it.
I think for me, it is a way of, well, at first it was a way of giving up. At first, I just wanted to run away from the obligation of a God that needed death to make some people wealthy. A God that meant only a few would do well at the expense of others. I thought that maybe the only way to escape the gods in that way was to die. But then I met her, and it was not my time yet, but she did promise me. She promised me some release. And it is that promise that I go after. It is, and if that promise were not there, then there would be no choice. There would be only the choice to be the food of the gods, the food of the greedy. And in that case, if there wasn't this way out, then I might need to find a way to be a bit more difficult food. I think I understand why you wanted to set the market on fire, Sebastian. And yet I am so glad we did not.
I'm still confused about that. I feel like Silt is just the flashpoint, the focal point for all the loss I was feeling, but I don't know that Silt actually is the cause. Maybe a mere facilitator. My vision's still not clear. I want someone to blame, but maybe there is no one to blame.
Oh.
I think, I don't know, the only conclusion I've come to is that perhaps I need to proceed as if Mog is no more. That's not Mog. I don't know who it is, but maybe I need to grieve my friend and just exist as if Mog has died.
Sorry for your loss.
Perhaps it's a mystery that will unravel itself over time in my mind. Actually, no, I had pinned quite an angry diatribe about it, which I don't feel I should hang on to. I feel like maybe this should go to Hugh or Grover.
I think Hugh takes it and hands it to Grover.
You really want the job done, you have to give it to Grover.
Yeah.
Probably best that that no longer exists for me to reread.
What did you hand him?
I'd written like a diatribe when I was
Oh,
running
you'd
mad.
actually written it. I thought you meant.
Yeah.
I thought this was metaphorically.
No, I'd actually like written down like this is some fucking bullshit. I'm gonna kill somebody, some motherfucker, you know. And I'm kind of working on letting that go by letting this, embracing the wax and Scrivener's ways. Like here, have fun destroying my letter I wrote.
Well,
Because
That's a thing
what
you
happened?
do.
he takes out a lighter, rips off a page, and lights it. Holds it burning in the car, and then takes it out the window and flutters away the ashes.
It's fine.
And like just does that for a long time as you drive away.
It's really responsible.
Now, if any of us did that, the forest would be in flames as we drove ignorantly on through.
First time we did that, yeah.
And that's how we burned down the city of.
Let's get a clue for the sleepless warden since we don't know anything about the other two.
Okay. Did we provide the clue in this context?
You do provide the clue, yes.
Oh, geez. Oh, what clue would make
The
it
current
easy?
question is, what new purpose could the warden serve if wakened accidentally?
This is for Wilkins Vigil.
Mhm.
I thought the warden was awoken, or
Yeah, that's why you're there.
and then we want to give it a new job.
Yeah. And then you resolve the assignment by working with the community to integrate the warden into the modern world.
Was it? I'm trying to remember. It was awakened through the community's xenophobia.
Yeah.
Is that the
Picked
story?
up an house tension and xenophobia and activated.
EEI trainings.
I'm thinking
Based
unless
off
Nice.
everything.
That is our next clue.
That's our
Other
next
ideas. I was thinking maybe Wilkins
It's like,
Vigil
oh my.
has been having intermittent power problems.
Mm.
Ooh.
You know, like just every now in little
Brownouts.
every now and then little brownouts in sections of the city that they haven't quite figured out
Yeah.
why yet.
And maybe you hear that on the news.
Maybe it comes through on the radio.
There's a big gaping hole where the radio used to be, and now Zeph's new radio is just sitting on the dashboard.
It's like held on by a bunch of like, or like the bobblehead
Mhm.
figure on one side, and I don't know what else to do with.
Held in place by bobbleheads.
Let's see. Wilkins Vigil. Ooh. Been a while, hasn't it?
I'm sure everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Hmm.
Everything is awesome.
Oh, isn't there this is where we lost baby?
I'm sure everything's fine.
I don't feel like lost
I
is the
don't
word.
know why you
Baby
feel the need to bring that up.
Well, I also don't know
I
if
wonder-
we is the right word, but you
We
know.
have a whole episode of just what baby's been up to.
It's just the Appa episode.
Yeah. It's like
Lost days.
it in baby's mind, like there's a record scratch and like I bet you're wondering how I got here, but as it's just a baby, you pull out and you're like it's like blah 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 blah. Blood, like blood dripping down from something it caught and ate.
Oh, no.
I did.
Baby.
I think,
This
yeah,
is so not hunting, baby.
since you're coming from the market, let's have you come up around like on the coast, and that will bring you to actually coming like around the side of Welkin's Vigil, uh, by the windmills on the cliffs. So as you're sort of like coming around the banks of the river up the cliffs, you see these towering windmill saints that keep watch from the hills, their turbine arms and propeller faces creaking in the wind.
Those are saints.
Yep, windmills.
It's a living.
Living. Among the whirling appendages fashioned from old airplane parts, their transfigured bodies are just barely visible. Painted
Ugh.
abdomens swell and deflate like weather balloons, moaning softly with each labored breath as they struggle to keep their blades in motion when the wind lulls. Paint the scene.
Oh,
I just
no.
did.
How can you tell that these undying saints were not willing sacrifices?
Oh.
Oh no.
On several of them, you can see the attachments. You can tell that they've now grown to be parts of like they're parts of their bodies, but weirdly there's like chains from the attachment to the body that have also kind of grown into the flesh now, that you can sort of see that at one point it seems like that attachment was just chained to the person so they couldn't rip it off, and now it's sort of been absorbed into the body, chain and all.
Oof.
I This is kind of oblique, but I think the they've put some expense to put fences around the windmill like area, or where fences around the base of each windmill, say. Um and there's signage there, and I think on the roads as well, that has like an ideogram and no communication. And do not believe these are saints on official power business. Do
Oh.
not believe their lies.
Whoa.
Fantastic.
Brought to you by Gold Coast Power Company.
Yeah, I think there's very similarly, there's a no hitchhikers sign. Don't pick up, it's a don't pick up hitchhikers sign.
They wouldn't fit in the car anyway.
Yeah. I think it has like a windmill like silhouette.
There's a work crew removing a roadside memorial to one of the people. So they're like, oh no.
Great. Let's see. And I think you see, where is he? Let's get this guy. Yeah. as you're driving towards Welkin's Vigil, away from the windmills, but still in sight of them, a an older man kind of darts out into the road. He's got like kind of like crazy like bright red hair, and like waving a like cane at you, kind of like trying to wave you down, and going like this.
Run him over. I'm kidding.
You stop or run him over.
Let's
Yeah.
stop for this
Who's
guy.
driving?
Yeah. Stop.
I think
And
Ren's like, there's a guy, there's a guy, there's a guy, there's a guy.
There was a sign though, no picking up hitchhikers.
You follow the rules now.
he's wearing an expensive looking wool cloak.
They're
And,
probably
I'm
not
okay,
a
he's good.
windmill, is what I'm
fine
saying.
boots and
You
actually
can
has
never be sure.
2 sets of binoculars around his neck. And he like raps on the hood of the car with his cane, which looks like a very nice like a lord's cane.
I like this.
Brothers of the Cloak.
And he like hits the car, and then he like looks horrified and just like, turn off the engine, turn off the engine. Turn it
Actually,
off.
he says turn off.
Yeah, who's driving?
I think it
Oh,
was him.
Zeph,
I
Zeph.
think it's always him unless we
Okay.
say
Unless
otherwise.
otherwise
Yes.
noted.
Unless you can trick us into it. We used to try
Grover,
to
can you drive? Yeah, I turn off the engine. But I don't turn off the radio.
Turn off the radio. Turn off the radio.
Yeah, turn off the radio.
For real, for real.
What is it, brother of the cloak?
Not just the volume down, turn it off.
What?
Oh,
The
God, he's a
cloak.
fashionable man. I have a cloak too. So does you and Grover.
Hear you.
Who can hear us?
A veil.
You hear stomping, loud stomping, but distant. But maybe not too distant. The Watcher. It's
Watcher in the wings?
no, the Warden.
Oh.
The defender. That's bulwark.
You misheard me.
They've whipped it into a frenzy. You're not from here.
You said
They say we whipped it into a frenzy, or he did?
They whipped it into a
Oh, they
frenzy.
whipped it into-
Mhm.
yeah.
So now it's
Negative.
killing everyone who doesn't live here, right?
If they're lucky.
Who's they? Oh, the
I've lived here my entire life, and I still. If you see it, lie flat. Be silent. Don't let it.
Oh, no.
Don't let it catch you.
Have you seen a child?
Child? What kind of child?
Sharp teeth,
Good question.
kind of gray skin.
What? What skin?
Owl gray.
Vibes.
An owl?
I mean, like if an owl, like you feel like you're looking at an owl.
I haven't
Like
seen an
it's a-
owl here in years. Years.
Like the
They both
child.
live south here. And birds are lovely, but they can be
So
cruel.
far, he
Is
only
the
has
owl
one.
child a cruel child?
Have you seen the owl child?
No, but I have. Did you know that Old Welkin, before they called it Welkin's Vigil, Old Welkin, did you know that Old Welkin was the last known location of the iridescent cloud sky dancer? So beautiful, too beautiful to exist in this world. Some said it was a god, even. And all these other. Anyway,
You
Yeah,
like
but-
to watch birds.
yes, the others grew jealous of its beauty and clawed its feathers out one by one until it couldn't fly.
You're talking about the bird still.
Of course, I'm talking about the bird.
There is no more iridescent cloud dancers?
Oh, I've never seen one.
Because judging by the name, they sound gorgeous.
And made up.
It would have to be to inspire such jealousy in the other birds. But keep it quiet.
And we heard something about, sorry, we heard something about brownouts.
The power's been going in and out. I don't know if it's a matter of the Saint Electric cutting us off, or the wire bitten child.
Yeah, can we try to pump clues out of this person?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it's funny you mentioned Saint Electric. God, fully licensed and bonded, et cetera, et cetera. We'd be really interested in this. What can you tell me about? We think it's connected to the warden.
Yeah.
What's my power?
Let's
For any
have
recommendation.
a roll
No,
with
that's not it.
presence. I think he's a little bit distracted. He needs to be charmed a little bit. He needs to be he needs you to like get him to pay attention, I think.
Am I
Really?
leveraging my association with the Faint Electric?
Are you? Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay. So presence, you said?
Yeah, presence. That's a +1 on your 3 dice. Woo!
13.
That's a
Jesus.
13.
God.
All right. Make me get the conspiracy sheet out.
Wow. Just random dude on the side of the road.
But he leans too far and like a secret medallion falls out of his.
I brought a child to deliver you information. Ah.
He has rings, and each of those rings has one of our names on it.
Let's give you. Let's do this one. Well, like I said, I imagine it's the warden taking care of things that it sees as threats. I mean, look over there, and he shows you. He like points, and you can see. It looked like just like a junk pile on a nearby hill, but it's actually a pair of tractors that had just been like just smashed beyond recognition until he points out exactly what they were. And the clue is noisy equipment has been violently smashed.
Oh yeah.
The warden is. I imagine that must be what it is. The pylon saints. I mean, the buzzing itself, but sometimes they do make their own noise. I don't think that's something that. I don't think the warden takes. I think it prefers the way it used to be. Oh, I mean, I hear that. I don't want to spread any rumors, but the warden is an old battle saint, and it's got its quirks. It's got its quirks. So it's nothing like they've been saying down not too far south, I suppose, but over. They're getting ready just in case the lingers act up again. That the government is testing new battle saints, not recommissioning old ones, but field testing them where away from cities, where in places like this, where people won't complain as much if something goes smashing through the countryside or blinding a farmer or turning a shepherd inside out accidentally by saying the wrong thing. It's as much destruction as the warden is causing. I miss the good old days when it was just sheer force, just will against will, standing strong against the lingers, instead of these new propaganda gods and battle saints who just indiscriminately launched into talking too loudly. Anyways, be quiet and watch where you're going. Keep an ear out. It makes a lot of noise, but it can come on you with surprising speed. And he takes off one of his binoculars. I'm heading towards the cliffs. I think I can see. He pulls ahead.
Why do you have multiple sets of binoculars?
Well, this different distances, so I don't have to refocus them. Yeah, he shows you his little laminated checklist of birds that he's looking for.
Oh.
The last one, the gray flecked sea swallow. It's supposed to be my rating now, but they've all been scared away. One must maintain hope, I suppose. Slinks back off to the side of the road, looking both ways, and kind of scuttles off into the bushes.
Exit pursued by a thousand.
I think we'll leave it there.
As we sit in the car with the like faint thump of
Like
the
as if
Sound of the screaming windmills in the background.
I think we should also we can turn this battle saint into a bird watcher, but I think we should also make it a broker to put the long generational racism between them and the Lingers down.
oh
It's
no.
not racial. It's just a regional thing.
Regional, yeah.
Well,
It's just xenophobia.
Maybe stop
I-
this generations old hating of other regions.
Yeah, if all this occurs before the radio show, I'm afraid that's not gonna happen. Cool. Yeah, we'll close. Oh, and the conspiracy clue you got was a rumor that experimental battle saints are being field tested in rural territories.
who's found so far?
Is the sixth one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, just a couple more to go.
Oh no.
And then we win.
Then you win prize. Great. So the warden is out and about causing trouble in the countryside. Let's look at the end of session. No one has
Have to
any
find the tickle spot on the ward.
versus. Gotta find the glowing red bit. No rewards. So let's answer some end of session questions. And let's go backwards. Let's start with Hugh. End of session.
I think I got to deliver a monologue about discovering the slaughter and perceiving that beyond the level of the gods. I want to give myself vulnerable because I think I was vulnerable about kind of sulkily saying that he felt sorry for Mog.
Yeah.
So, but did not. I don't think I engaged. Well, I don't know. I don't think I engaged with the god angel or other divine manifestation.
Directly, we haven't had.
These were just Mog bites, not god.
I was going to say, yeah. Did you engage with a Mog?
Technically,
Bastion.
No assignments, no engaging with things. I did struggle with my personal faith, and I was vulnerable.
Nice.
Bing.
Zeph.
Yeah, I did struggle with my personal faith, and then I beat it. And I did deliver like a monologue.
Yeah.
Or maybe a few. I don't know. I was talking a lot.
This was the oops all monologue.
This is like AI. I don't know. He said a lot, but not a lot got done.
Sorry, was that me?
Yes, that's you.
Yeah. We didn't complete an assignment. We did try. I don't think I engaged with a god angel or other divine manifestation. I was vulnerable, and I went out of my way to go to the pox smugs.
Yep. Cool. That's 2 all around. Well, let's do stars and wishes, and we'll start with Nick.
All right. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Oh yeah.
Even though despite missing the last one, y'all had like such a strong episode that it was like pretty easy to be like, yep, okay. Um, we gotta it's clear what we do next. So I liked that. Really love the monologues and the character moments. I like how all the characters are kind of deepening their own understanding of like their own beliefs and their views on the world, as well as like their views on their job. Yeah, just really liked getting to get back into it and this episode, and yeah, really appreciate, I think the monologues were really excellent. Wishes for yeah, seeing the other mysteries, this scary hospital one.
Mm.
It's especially eerie. And wishes, I kind of wish to know what baby's up to, but
You'll find out soon enough.
you want to know that later. That's me.
Cool. Next on the character keeper is Ben.
Yeah, stars for everyone, and nice to have Nick back. Stars for Mark for letting us get into trouble. In my social feeds, there's been a lot of talk about Lewis and good trouble. Like, I don't think that's the kind of trouble we get into here. This is not good trouble. But yes, so star for Mark for letting us get into things, especially when it's like us also throwing ourselves into things. Yeah, wishes. I am curious to see what we come up with for the Saint. The question is like what other thing could the Saint protect? Which is the kind of question that I think we have some fun with. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm curious about some of our new powers. We had kind of like a power light episode. And I know like we just got a bunch of powers as a group. And yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next with the other ones.
Yeah.
Like that we probably, I assume next time we'll wrap something up very easily.
Yeah, sure. Super easy.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's me.
Heath is up next.
Yeah, stars for having the band back together. Nick being here. As usual, the fun cooperative world building between all involved. Stars for Peter taking the follower move. I always knew that'd be a fun one. I considered it a few times, but it's nice to have a follower. That'd be fun.
Oops, all followers.
Oops, all followers. We can all have one. That'd be awesome. 8 people in our apartment. Wishes. Hopefully we can maybe wrap up Welkin's next one. Maybe. And poking around in the other ones as well. Curious if there's any more to the Mog storyline. And I have not forgotten that I always want my locket back. And that's it for me.
The only driving force underneath Sebastian.
Only reason I'm still doing this job.
Sebastian's gonna rewrite the world to get
That's
this.
right.
Yeah,
Cool.
he just willed himself into being a saint that is only pursuing
Locket Saint.
The
Real weird.
Locket
Very
Lord?
destructive.
Okay.
You can just be a saint of vengeance, I guess. But you can kick off your final verse anytime you want. And
Out.
cool. Nick
Already did me.
did.
Going backwards.
Nick started us. Wow.
I started. But I do wish a million stars for Grover.
Right, that's right.
And I wish to actually make a roll next time. I didn't do anything to make myself roll.
Then Peter, then. That's what
yeah, I'll ditto that, like stars for Mark just hopping in on, guess what? You're this character. Let's go. And occasionally going, Grover, what do you think about this? And Mark being stars for the whole group as always, but like, and this time especially, I loved the variety of like, this one feels like unique in that it's the one time we've come up against something and gone like, okay, this is weird. We found the line. We're
That is
just gonna
not
walk
cool.
away. This is not just like a Wolverine attacking us in an abandoned house like we're used to. Yeah, and I love everybody using their abilities. I star to Ben, as he pointed out, for we've ripped the radio out of the car and then suddenly being like, hey, a radio.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think oh, and yeah, star for Sebastian going on this like wild vengeance angle. I thought that was an angle we hadn't seen from that character, and it was kind of exciting for all of us to be kind of like, I haven't seen Sebastian like this. What do I do? I my wishes, I do wish to see what happened in her absence in Vulcan's vigil. I don't think we have abandoned an assignment for this long before.
It's gonna be rough.
Oh man. I'm full up on inspiration. At some point I do want to use my book ability. But right now I don't want to have 3 conditions, even if they're all useful conditions.
Start doing stupid things and making rolls and using them.
Oh yeah. I will inevitably do that. Yeah, I have a wish to see more like conflict between Hugh and Grover about the nature of the waxen scrivener. That just seems like fun story fuel, and it helps me kind of sharpen my own character's attitude towards things. And I'm eager to see. I imagine we'll have a freewheeling discussion pretty soon about how to take care of this battle state, and I think those are always fun. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Cool. Yeah, this was fun. I got to do a bunch of cool different things. Definitely kept me on my toes with like, what was so valuable that Mog traded her soul for it?
I'll tell you what it was. It was
Salacious's opinion about the nature of.
And then that gave me the opportunity to do something really fucked up, which was super fun. That is that meat grinder is actually from an episode of the Magnus Archives. It's gross. It's super gross.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a lot of Magnus DNA in the floating market, so when you go back, it's like, uh-oh. Some more bad things. That's fun. Wish there was a good Magnus Archives game instead of what's out there now.
Wishes for the game design world.
Yeah, I think you could actually really run one really easily in the Silt versus just swap it out. But yeah, everyone had really great character moments. The whole billboard car ride was really fun. And yeah, just lots of gross stuff happened, which was a lot of fun. I think if you go back to the market again, it's going to be interesting. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I think y'all covered all the wishes. So yeah, just see what happens next. Yes. More rolling. More rolling.
I didn't roll.
Running headlong towards a saint kicks off one of Ren's moves. So that is a thing that you can do for sure.
That's true. I do have the fate thing.
You can always use Sebastian's triple threat move there. So, time to go wild. And yeah, I think two more conspiracy clues before that kicks off. So good time there. Yeah, that's all I got. Anything else before we say goodbye to the internet? All right, goodbye to the internet.